I'm Brian, and I'm doing a live stream to talk about what my vote is going to be and why I'm voting the way I am. Now, to start off, I want to make sure that you understand that voting, as much as you don't like it, as much as a lot of people don't like it, is a way to express your opinion about stuff. Now, I'm going to read votes and why I'm voting. There are some votes I'm not going to talk about. Um, this is my ballot. Here in California, you have to pretty much vote on everything, and so uh, there are four double-sided, extra long pages I have to go through, and as I said, I will do some of the stuff. I'll talk through some of the stuff, like we'll get into it, but like here in California, there are 6 candidates for president on the ballot. Okay. Uh, and they go in order by, uh, they go in order. I'm not sure what the order is, nonetheless. Um, okay. So in California, Chase Oliver, Libertarian, got on the ballot. Jill Stein got on the ballot. Donnie Trump, of course, we all know who that is. Claudia de la Cruz of the Peace and Freedom Party. Kamala Harris and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. No, he didn't get off the ballot here. He still wants votes. Um, so I am voting for Kamala Harris. The reason I'm voting for Kamala Harris is simple. Because a vote for anybody but Kamala Harris is a vote for Donald Trump. And as much as there are probably things I disagree with her with, I believe Donald Trump will bring a new form of fascism to the world. Period. End of story. He doesn't stand for freedom. Under his direction, the Republican Party preaches hate. Under his direction, the Republican Party actually passed the largest tax increase in modern history. And I'll go into that. How did they pass a tax increase when they said, "Oh, we never to pass any taxes"? They closed a loophole wherein if you receive Venmo payments, if you receive PayPal payments, if you receive payments of any sort online, they can tax you. All you got to do is make $600 and have one transaction. The number used to be you could get up to $20,000 through these payments. And it was hundreds of transactions. I think it was 150 transactions. But Republicans insisted on it as part of the last infrastructure bill, as a big fuck you to everyone. And so voting for Donald Trump is voting for tax increases. It's voting for hate crimes. It's voting for pretty much everything. And I won't go into the funny stuff he's done, but I mean, it's just dumb. So, like I said, I'm going to go through this. So we also are voting for we're voting for senator. Okay. Um, we're voting for a representative. I'm voting for a Wiener for state senate, Scott Wiener. And this is going to be kind of boring because it's just going through. I'm just going through candidates, and most of them you don't know, and I'm not going to really talk about that. But so this is something that California does on some of these. And this is what a ranked choice matrix looks like. So you may have seen it on your ballots, but so I'm doing a ranked choice thing. And that was for mayor of San Francisco, that ring choice thing. And there were 13 candidates. That's a lot of people running for mayor. Okay, more ring choice stuff. Again, this is going to be quiet because I'm doing ring choice stuff. And okay, now here comes the fun stuff. All right, so basically here in California, let me hide my vote here because I'm not supposed to show. But basically here in California, you vote on amendments to the Constitution. Everyone that comes up for every election is on here. So these are the amendments we're voting on today. School bonds, okay, so this one is interesting. This one is a protection of marriage thing. Now, it is a hedge against the Supreme Court invalidating interracial marriage, invalidating gay marriage, which is all feasible. And since I support that right, yes, it is. So, okay, blah, blah, wildfire prevention. Yeah, that's a yes. Okay, local bonds for affordable housing. Yeah. Now, this is something, Prop 6 is something that I've kind of advocated for. Basically, it stops using forced labor in prisons. Because prisoners who serve are required to work for $1 a day, basically. I mean, it's $1 an hour, but it's useless. And the reason it's useless is because while I am for punishing criminals, I am for laws that punish criminals, the entire there's an entire provision in the 14th Amendment that does not outlaw slavery in cases of incarceration. So if you can't be owned by someone, but if you go to jail for something you did, you're technically owned by the state. Now, this goes about it in a different way than I would suggest. I actually advocate for creating a real potential living wage for these folks in prison, because yeah, a lot of them rail against the injustice of the system, but if you made it so that you're forcing them to work, or you say, okay, well, you can work and we'll pay you a reasonable wage, because like I said, it's $1 or $2 an hour. It does nothing. Even if you worked 40 hours a week for a 25-year term and you had restitution of $40,000 at $1 an hour, you wouldn't touch it because of interest on the restitution. And that's dumb. You know, you don't want these people, you don't want people institutionalized, because look, you know, there are behavioral things when it comes to criminals. Now, I'm not saying they're all bad. I'm not saying they don't have valid grievances with the people they commit crimes with. But the reality is that the punishment far outstrips the crime. Now, when it comes to sex offenders, when it comes to murderers, it makes it that I mean, the punishment again swings the other way, but that's my opinion on that. You know, and so I'm not gonna get into it deeply, but Prop 6 actually kind of addresses something I've been thinking about, and so I'm going to vote on that. Rent control, blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. And again, this is the quiet time. All right, 2 more. Oh, I can't see that. What's that? So Okay. Permanent funding for Medi-Cal. Important. Okay. So that's interesting, and I'll talk about this. Prop 36. It talks about um, reinstating some decriminalized drug behavior. Now, I'm a little torn on that because while I support the legalization of drugs with regulation, it doesn't solve all the drug problems. Like when I was out, I would go out and sell my books. I'm not going to plug them here, but I would go out and sell my books, and a lot of the guys who would be out trying to make money from people who have money that don't know what to do with it, and unfortunately, a lot of people are like that. Um, when it comes to that, uh, the there's just not enough regulation, and it also reinstates petty theft charges as being uh, criminal, which, if you're honest, should never have gone away, but they were in the whole big shakeup over George Floyd, which was legitimate, I might add. Um, they started eliminating certain crimes as uh, being uh, uh, as being prosecutable. So I'm in favor of this. Now, I don't know how this will negatively affect some people, especially the homeless. But being honest, I mean, if you're not, if you can't abide by rules, if you can't interact in a normal fashion, not sure you should be in public anywhere. Being honest, um, not because having your issues is a bad thing. What it is, though, is if you react in a specific way because of a debilitating condition that you have, uh, you should there should be some middle ground where you go to treatment for that debilitating condition, regardless of the circumstances. And that's all I'll say about it. Okay. And now I'm in the home stretch. Okay. So, blah, blah, blah. Yep. They're doing school bounds here in San Francisco, too. Okay. Yep. Buy that stuff. Yep. Anti-corruption. Now, this is an interesting one. San Francisco is trying to limit the number of commissions it currently has operating to 65. Now, that's a good idea, but saying the mayor and the police chief have sole authority to create roles or create rules for city employees and police department employees unilaterally is a bad thing. So I'm voting no on that. Okay. Yep. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Edge. Okay. All right, in the home stretch here. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more to go. Very important, this one. I did the last one first because it protects reproductive rights. I want to be clear on this. I support abortion rights, period. Now, how that works out is another story and should be left to people with better opinions, namely someone maybe with, the reproductive organ, women's reproductive organs. But I support abortion rights, and I always have. No, I had an argument with my sister about how Roe v. Wade didn't go far enough, but she didn't seem to understand that. So Roe v. Wade was crucial for women's rights, but Congress dropped the ball by not codifying these things into law, because it's a lot harder to dismiss a law than it is to dismiss a court precedent. And that's all I'll say. Yep, I can do that. Yep. Okay. Yeah. No, we're not going to close the Great Highway. All right. And with that, I am done. I will be taking this to the city hall. This is absolutely ridiculous. 30 minutes of sitting here wondering what is my life. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day.